Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Real quick, when I say live, what I mean is that I'm recording myself right now in real time, seeing the information, seeing the data for the very first time. In other words, I don't know what's coming next. So to respect your time, if you are looking for a video where somebody's doing a trade recap or talking to you with hindsight in their favor, this won't be a video for you. But if you are open to the idea of a unscripted, raw, nitty-gritty look into what it's like to be a day trader and how day trading can play out, then I'm confident you'll find some value here. So I will pause the recording software for now, and I'll be back at the open. All right, watching 159.25 here. In short at 159.25 on Tesla. 200 shares. Short meaning I want to see prices go down and I'll make money. If prices go up, I will lose money like it's doing right now. So that's exactly not what I wanted to see happen at all. See if we can get the price to come back down. All right, so maybe is this the time where it finally makes the move? Took off half there. Pretty big overextended move, but let's see if this is just going to be some sort of big momentous move. Took off some more there because, yeah, all right, I can see this thing probably bouncing. So a modest trade there. And yeah, as it snaps back up, ooh, that's disappointing to see. One of those where I'd rather be wrong and to have it seen continuation, because that way now I don't have in the back of my mind, oh great, we're going to be in one of these markets where it's that snappy. Look at that. Yeah, that does not have me feeling good. I mean, it has me feeling good in the sense of I'm glad I got out. I read it right. I played it right. But I was hoping I read it and played it wrong so that I could have the confidence of, okay, good, we're in a market that's giving some continuation. But this is one of those times where I don't like to be right, if that makes sense. Hopefully I explained myself the right way. But yeah, it feels good from a monetary standpoint, sure, but from a psychological standpoint, does not feel good to now sit here and be like, okay, so this is the type of market we're in. Look at that turnaround. Wow. Oh boy. That's a scary market to know if this is what kind of market we're going to be in. That is a very scary thing. Again, feel absolutely fantastic that I played it the way I did, but I really wanted to be wrong. I wanted to see that thing continue down, so I knew that, okay, this market's going to give a follow-through. This would be the exact opposite of follow-through. That is completely rip back in your face, tear your face off, and then spit on it as a cherry on top. Look at that. Okay, well, yeah, I don't like being right in this sense. All right, well, noted. I'll take a look around and see what else is out there, but I could see myself maybe being done, because if this is how the market's going to be, then I have no interest in trying to trade this sort of just nonsense price action. But I'll pause. Okay, I like this one here. I'm going to get short at 339.57. So this thing's either coming back down or it's going to blast up through the VWAP here and take me out. And if that's the case, then so be it. But what I'm risking relative to what I can potentially make here, I like a whole lot. So nothing fancy here at all. I got to get out. Well, that was a quick one, but like I said, it was a very binary choice at that point. And it still may come back down or it may come back up. And that's the thing is, there's no hindsight here, so I don't know what it's going to do if this thing continues to blast up through. I just can't take the risk that it will actually keeps on blasting up through, and then I have a much bigger loss. But had I gotten the other binary situation of it coming back down at that very logical place, then I would have done quite well. So I am now red on the day, but nothing huge down. Well, with commissions, we'll call it right around $70-ish. So yes, I gave back my gains, and I don't want to come across as ungrateful. But I mean, I was only up $60, so it's not like now if I was up 6,000 and then I'm sitting here saying, "Oh, I gave up all my gains," that's a little bit different. And like I said, this thing very well may come back down. And if it does, do I try again is the question. I could see myself trying again just because maybe my timing was a little off. So I'll keep an eye on it because it is still an interesting setup. All right, I will go ahead and pause. Quick little update here. Good example of why you just got to cut those losses, because look at that thing go, and that loss would have only gotten bigger and bigger. And look at Tesla. Talk about all over the place. So you saw that big snapback move up, and now just almost just straight down. Yeah, that's just that's very difficult. Action to trade. Wow. Well, this one continues to drift down. All right, I will pause. Watching 158.25 here on Tesla, mainly based on the 5-minute time frame. I can bring that over real quick. So that's what I'm essentially watching right there. So I want to see 158.25 if it comes into play. But I will go ahead and pause for now. Now watching 158.50. Again, 158.50 is a new level that I'm watching. I'll go ahead and pause. In at 158.56. Looking for this thing to at minimum test this trend line here. So let's see if it wants to make a move down. See if the markets want to come down too. That'd help it out, I would think. So not just a waiting game. And not looking so good now all of a sudden. Not looking good at all. Not going to wave the white flag quite yet. We'll see what it wants to do. All right, I will go ahead and pause for now. All right. Getting close to being stopped out. In fact, I don't see how I don't get stopped out now at this point. But I've been wrong before. What's it gonna do? All right, I'll pause again. Well, it is pulling back. Problem is this trend line has now moved up so much that it's basically at my entry point. So even it could very well bounce right off my entry point, which is a problem in and of itself. So I'll give it a chance, but that's that's the problem with the trend line and the big move up and coming back down is it's now made it so a potential breakdown would just still be right at my entry point, Whereas beforehand, I was thinking that, that the trend line would be where I'd maybe pull some profit off. But now the trend line is essentially my entry point. So there is no profit to be taken at the trend line. So there we are at the trend line. See what I mean? So I'm in the profit a little bit, but not like originally. So now I just need this thing to get the push down through. So I'm going to take off some there just because that's kind of tough luck for me. The trade plan was to take some off at the trend line, and I wanted more at the trend line, but I guess I'll be grateful that I was able to, sit through that big bounce upwards. Yeah, this is just unfortunate all the way around. Because it's having problems on the trend line, which is why last time I would have been a lot more in the green at this point, so it wouldn't have mattered as much. But now I'm strictly dependent on, okay, I really need this thing to break down if there's going to be any chance at all. But I will be. I mean, I don't want to come across as a greedy savage. I'm grateful that I was able to sit through that pain. My stop loss choice kept me in by the skin of my teeth, so that was great. But yeah, I mean, I could see this thing very realistically bouncing off. So right there, not a break-even trade, but basically a break-even trade. I was thinking, I don't know, maybe I should be adding up around 159. But hindsight, so had I added, that would have been a much different trade, a much better trade. But when I was already down, do I want to increase my risk profile that much more? I chose no. Yes, in hindsight, I would have been okay to do so. And then, like I said, the trend line presenting problems. So just not really my day. I think that's the best way to say this. However, to be fair, and I don't want to have confirmation bias. What's going on with coin? But there is a little case of confirmation bias, because think about, what was that first one? Yeah, okay, my first Tesla trade, I got out and then the thing just ripped against me. So yeah, a small gain, but it could have been a not like a disastrous loss, but it could have been a bigger loss. And then Tesla here, it was right at my stop loss. I was fully planning on being stopped out, but my stop loss location kept me in, and that ended up turning into a small winning trade. So yeah, not really my day, but I suppose it was my day in some senses, where I picked the right stop loss location, and then on that first trade, I hopped out where I should have. But just a day where I just need to be done. So down $44 with commissions. I don't know, let's call it 50, 55-ish, somewhere right around there. And Tesla. Yeah, I better, and just because that's still by that trend line there. And I clearly don't quite have it. So it wasn't a terrible day. I still had it in a couple different ways, but not always. And that's what happens. But, the good news is $50 loss, whatever that is, give or take a little bit. And like I said earlier in the video, I don't want to come across as a greedy savage that doesn't appreciate the value of a dollar, because I do. I'm just saying, and this will mean a bit more to those of you that have watched other videos, within the, within the bigger picture of things, $50 can be made back relatively quickly. So I'm just going to take it as it is. A lot of good learning lessons here. Yeah, it was just kind of a weird day, but it feels like a terrible day. But again, that's confirmation bias, because I did actually make some very good decisions. But it is what it is. And as I blabber on, I guess that kind of just illustrates exactly what I mean. I'm not quite sure what to say, so I just keep blabbing, but I'm going to wrap it up. So if you enjoy these live trade videos, hit that like button, leave a comment below, check out the channel as a whole. Would love to have you as a subscriber. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total.
I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.